Episode 296, the day after Big O. That's what I'm going to call this. This is like, what was that movie, The Day After Tomorrow, where the world was fucked? That is what happened after Big O showed up on UFO Buster Radio for the Thursday Freakout. Ufology, the podcast, and everything else is thoroughly fucked. Yeah, that's the only way I can explain it, because I honestly had no idea what angle he was going to take. I just had to play it by ear, and that's why I kept on asking random questions. I didn't know what he was going to talk about. I mean, he's up there in the north, freezing his ass off, driving fucking trucks. He's got no mind. Zero. He's in the frozen tundra. I mean, shit, really. I mean, his nuggets are probably frozen to the seat. So, yeah, I had no idea what he was going to say. Nothing. We didn't even coordinate that. That's why at the beginning of the freakout, I was like, maybe he'll call in, maybe he won't. But apparently some of you like the fact that Big O called in. And some of you guys have been around for a while. You appreciate the Big and the O. Because let me tell you, some of you might think I'm a dickhead sometimes because I speak my mind and I don't follow the rules of coast to coast radio. But Big O, oh fuck, he doesn't follow any rules, not even UFO Buster Radio rules. He does his own thing, and you heard his theory. His theory is that we are being rubber dicked by the government because they're using UFOs to, I don't know. I think there was a term back in the day called wag the tail. Really, they wag the tail to distract you from other business, other government business. I mean, it's entirely plausible. You can't even get away from that. You guys who are into conspiracy theories, I'm sure you've talked about that gajillions of times. So there you go. That was the Big O on the Thursday Freakout. It is Friday, November the 15th, halfway through the month already. And it kind of sounds like a Freakout episode, right? But it's not. I'm still up. It's late. It's almost Saturday right now. 11 p.m. in Texas. So I figure I'd get on here. I got 3 songs here to play for you guys, but also 2 different news articles. One of them, Big O alluded to in the Thursday Freakout. So we'll talk about that because I've been seeing it so many damn times, and I've been avoiding it like the plague. But of course, thanks to Big O, I can't avoid it anymore. So we'll get to that. That'll be the first topic. But if you're listening right now, I just want to say this. You can do no better justice to the podcast than to share it, like it, subscribe to it, tell your friends. Even Big O said it. Tell your cats, tell your dogs. Put it to your belly and let your baby listen to it. Though Big O thinks that there is no evidence that the IQ of the child would be enormous after this, I guarantee you they would at least, by the age of 2, embrace the term rubber dicker and the word fuck. In terms of UFOs, though, because otherwise they won't even say it. I'm just saying. So you're okay. Don't be ashamed of it. But that's going to be the podcast for today. Let's start with a song called Juggernaut. Because that's what I am. I'm a juggernaut. And I don't take no shit. And if you have shit for me, fuck off. I could care less. Lord have mercy, that song just goes hard right now. I mean, I feel like an X-Men, not a Juggernaut. I feel like Magneto, maybe. Just like overseeing the evils of ufology with my magnetic powers. So, let's talk about this thing with Big O. But first, I got to say this. I called out the what was it? The Thursday Freakout from before, not this past one, but the week before. I called out Dave G. And I believe he's in Australia. I'm not entirely sure. But I did call him out, and it turns out that yesterday, during the Thursday Freakout, he was trying to get a Spike account. Spike. Shit. It's going to be that kind of podcast. He was trying to get a Skype account put together in order to call in while Big O was on, but apparently it wasn't matching. But with Skype, you've got to accept that initial message in order to be able to communicate with someone, which is weird because I swear that my Skype is set up for anyone, rubber dicker or not, to send me a message, which usually happens. Like I said, I get messages from people just leaving random music. I don't know. I still don't get that. I still don't get it at all. But anyway, I think that we've got DG in the bullpen for next Thursday. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he gets on here. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So let's get into the first article because the Big O rubber-dicked us all when he said this. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a real newscaster right now. Like I'm gonna give you some real serious news. Yeah, like there was a 5-alarm fire in your neighborhood and your shit just got burned. Like that's about it. Thank you. Tune in next week at 5 p.m. The story article for this one, strange UFO-shaped hole appears in the clouds, but alien landing not likely in North Carolina. North Carolina, on the east coast of the United States, for some reason in the last maybe a month to 3 weeks, has been a hotbed of UFO sightings. I mean, everything is going on over there. So many UFO sightings and reports, it's ridiculous. What the fuck is going on in North Carolina? Well, just recently, which is what Big O apparently says he's keeping up. This is how he keeps up with UFOs. He looks at clouds. Where he's at right now working, there's probably nothing else to do but look at fucking clouds because barely nobody lives there because it's fucking cold. So he sits around and he looks at clouds. So he can relate to this story. Apparently someone posted on Facebook a picture of basically what looked like a circular cutout of cloud covering. And then just under that, it looks like, like a poof, kind of. Right in the middle of it. It really looked like something just rose through the clouds. Or came down, depending on how you look at it. Some people said that it looked like a descending flying saucer or cloaked Enterprise from the, Star Trek universe. Someone from Facebook named Dan Chiazio, that's really how it's spelled, I don't fucking know, said aliens. Aliens. Another person named Jennifer Brady Ellis said, wow, looks like a scene from Independence Day. And really, I tried to post a picture. For some reason, the picture wouldn't post. So you'll have to look to the Charlotte Observer, who actually posted the picture for us so that we can look at it and gaze at it while we're driving oil trucks. And try to figure out what the fuck it is. It turns out Kathy Lynn Carlin of Coolidgeville, North Carolina, was one of the folks who shared the photo on Facebook, and she told McClatchy News Group that her and her husband saw the odd formation around 10 a.m. in the morning on Saturday, and they were actually driving to Statesville, North Carolina. Statesville is actually about 65 miles northwest of Charlotte, and they said that they sat around and watched it for about 10 minutes. And they actually saw the hole develop, and then later on saw a funnel cloud appearing in the center like something went through it. Her post actually says, "Can someone please explain to me what exactly this is?" And she actually went around explaining it to people. We rounded a curve, and it was directly in front of us. We thought it looked like a tornado, but we didn't see any rotation. But Carlin, pull yourself up by your big girl panties, because there's an explanation, and it's coming from meteorology. Yeah, it turns out experts believe a likely explanation is that a fall streak or a hole punch cloud, a weather phenomenon that actually resulted in UFO reports, it's not a big deal. It happens all the damn time. Yeah, you just been missing it because you're living your life. You take the kids to the daycare center, you pick up the poop in the backyard. You're not looking to the clouds. Fuck, you barely take your phone away from your face. Why would you even notice that this happens all the damn time? Like fake UFOs going through clouds. Because that's the way Mother Nature intended it to be. EarthSky.org says this, they look like strange clearings in an altocumulus cloud layer, often circular patches of clear sky surrounded by clouds. Sometimes people report them as UFOs. Thank you, EarthSky, because they did that already. The National Weather Service office based in Seattle tweeted a multiple fall streak hole clouds formed over British Columbia, resulting in MSN.com reporting of scary, strange cloud patterns that resemble UFO invasion. Yeah, so, basically it's nothing. It's all to do about nothing. And basically what happens is there is some, icy droplets that fall through the clouds, and then it looks like there was a UFO going through. Nature does the strangest thing. But here's my thing. Freaking meteorologists can barely get the goddamn weather right 30% of the time. What the fuck did they know? Somebody should check them, because their reliability is basically shit. I wouldn't believe a meteorologist. Fuck no. We need to figure out what the hell they looked at. I don't know. I'm just talking because fuck. This might be this is 30% of their prediction of what it was. Might be 100% correct for them. This is probably the only thing they fucking get right. Gotta be honest with you. There should be like UFO meteorologists instead of fucking giving you the weather every morning that fuck you up and you end up either wet as hell or sweaty as a fucker. I don't know. I want to say hello to Gutter. Actually, it's Gutter, but like I said, I like imagining that he's German, so I say Gutter. Gutter said, "What's up? Late show tonight, bub." Good for me, because he just got off work. Gutter, that's the way it goes sometimes. The unpredictability of UFO Buster Radio is fucking amazing. It really is. It is unbelievable. That's a story for this cloud formation nonsense that the Big O brought to the chat. But, I do want to give a shout out to the folks in South America. There's been a lot of listeners coming out of the South. And I know I talk a lot of shit about Chile because Chile has the craziest UFO sightings and the most fuck up in sighting identification per capita Yeah. So to embrace you, not only Chile, Brazil, and what was the other one I saw the other day? I was like, really? Venezuela? What in the flying fuck? I say a little north of that, we got Mexico and those guys. Just to embrace the fact that you listen to me, I got something in the way of not English music. Just so you guys know. But either way, it is Friday, and it's happening type of music. So you may not understand the fucking words, and you might be drunk as fuck, so it might sound like English to you anyway. So let's check out this song.
Para todos esos envidiosos. Tranquilo con mi flow, los mantengo. Me dicen que estás escaso, pero tengo. No tengo la voz ronca como Ñengo. Pero los parto bien duro como Sony le hizo a Nintendo. Quieren más, pero no son capaces de nada. Mantienen diciendo que lo que hay. Y si yo les digo se asustan. Estar en la cima no es normal. La gente me odia porque soy original. Tanto falso que hay en esta humanidad. Yo los entiendo y sé por qué así están. Es que Supreme es tan high que no tiene ningún rival.
Todo pecho frío se cría en el río, teniendo lo suyo, enseñando lo mío. Ahí donde empiezan toditos los líos, porque se comparan con el Rey León. Cuando de off your own, yo no junto una canción. Tu Mercedes, yo tengo una parking en la colección.
Pero no son capaces de nada. Mantienen diciendo que lo que hay. Y si yo les digo se asustan. Estar en la cima, llegó a la meta. En bicicleta, todos se creen esos poetas. Porque han rimado calle con galletas. Si tú me das el gusto de ser el primero en hacer las cosas porque no tiene la actitud. No estoy pa' juzgar, tampoco estoy pa' pelear. Ya saben mi puesto y no lo podrán tocar. Quieren de lo mío, pero nada les voy a dar. Porque he luchado mucho pa' llegar a este lugar. Quieren más, pero no son capaces de nada. Mantienen diciendo que lo que hay. Y si yo les digo se asustan. Estar en la cima no es normal. Y pongan la mesa que ya son por ahí las 12. Así que los niños para el cuarto. El país no tarda tanto. Él solamente tiene que comer. Y ustedes no pueden ver.
Ustedes me aman con plata, después les espalda pirata. Aquí no hay juego corbata y un poco de jeva pachata. Tú sabes cómo el veneno me sabe mi pana, de eso construyo mi sueño. Nadie me quiere ver bien, le digo aquí estamos todos muy bien.
Pero no son capaces de nada. Mantienen diciendo que lo que hay. Y si yo les digo se asustan. Estar en la cima no es normal. Y todos mis envidiosos, les va a llegar una carta de Papá Noel, que se ha portado muy mal.
There you go. International. You know, actually, I was looking for a song from Australia. But the didgeridoo was literally giving me a headache, like a splitting headache. The didgeridoo was so strong in it. It was quite difficult indeed to even listen to it. So I said, fuck it. Let's just go totally foreign for everyone. But that's the way it is. So I think that at least for the rest of the month, I'm going to try to acknowledge the folks that listen outside of the United States, because there's quite a few of you in many different places. So at least one song would be dedicated to those listeners out there. And I hope you appreciate it. I know there might be a slight, language barrier or whatever it is. I barely talk English like Elon Musk, but it's okay. I will acknowledge the fact that you are on the podcast listening to the madness just because, I don't give 1, 2, or 3 flying fucks, but that's the way I roll. Let's get into the news for the next article. This one here is a shout out. I'm giving a shout out to Elon Musk and everyone else that wants to get on a starship to travel to Mars, whenever the fuck it's gonna go. The damn date changes all the damn time. It's titled Astronauts. See, I talk about Australia and everybody's an astronaut now. Astronauts experience reverse blood flow and blood clots on the space station, study says. The word study is, I don't know. It's not my favorite study to talk about. Oh, the word study, for that matter. But there's something important here that people should know. A lot of people think it's such a great idea to make it affordable to get your happy ass on an aluminum rocket, spaceship, starship, travel your ass to the moon, get refueled, and then continue to keep your crazy ass on the way to Mars. Because you basically, to get that ticket, unless you're rich, you're going to have to sell everything you own. You got to get rid of it all to get on the starship and basically start a colony or some kind of a settlement on Mars. Great. Now, I would assume that, that by the time that we get to the point where we're ready to say, Elon, let's take off, let's go to Mars, let's just do this, that the shit that I saw in Boca Chica will be completely different. It will be a fully functional, radiation protected and all kind of stuff starship to where the folks that are putting their lives on the line are not going to regret it. Basically, they're not going to want their money back. What kind of a refund would you get, right? You're pretty much fucked. You're not going to get shit. Maybe people who survive you and your family, maybe they can get some of that money back because it's a one-way ticket. I feel that that's the way it's going to be sold. It's going to be the disclaimer. You'll have that fast-talking auction guy, but you're dead. That's basically what he's going to say. Yeah, you're fucked. That's what that language is going to be when you buy that ticket to Mars. Yeah, going once, going twice. It turns out a study of 11 healthy astronauts on board the International Space Station, aka the ISS, for 6 months revealed a new risk of long-term space flight. One of the things that we mentioned was reverse blood flow. Yeah. What a strange... Wow. It's categorized as stagnant or reverse blood flow, and another astronaut had blood clot, which is bananas. Science, in a lot of ways, being a pioneer in being in space and chilling out there for a while, it's not all gumdrops and unicorns. Yeah, especially when your blood is going in reverse. What the fuck is that? When I say that, I don't even see like an illness. I see like someone becoming like Damien from the Omen movies or some kind of Annabelle or some shit like that. Some haunted demonic thing where your blood just goes in reverse. That's what I figure. That's what I see, because how is that possible? How is it possible when your heart is built to push the shit in one direction, not fucking backwards? That's just crazy. That's like demonic talk right there. Don't bring those people back to the damn planet. Leave them where the fuck they are. The study, which involved 9 men and 2 women with an average age of 46 geezers, published on Wednesday in the Journal of GAMA Network Open, this identifies that the astronauts were not included in the study. I'm sorry, that was the identities. So they don't want to tell you who it is. But I mean, come on. NASA publishes all the time. Who the hell has been in space for X amount of time? So, really? That doesn't really help anybody. So over time, staying for 6 months on the space station, you can experience the weakening and loss of bone and atrophy of muscle, which, really, you can figure that out. If you're a fucking couch potato, you don't do shit. There is no force that you have to exert on anything other than picking up the potato chip bowl. You know what that is. You're going to just be a blob. So we know that happens to astronauts. Some of the other things that happen to astronauts is a experience of blood volume loss, weakened immune systems, and cardiovascular deconditioning, since floating takes little effort and the heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood. There you go. Now, does this become a duh moment? Is this something that you kind of figure that would be the case? I mean, I'm not surprised by this. I mean, you don't do shit. You just sit around. You float around like a jellyfish. How many jellyfish out in the ocean have nice pectorals? 0. Absolutely none of them. The article continues to say that the weightlessness environment of zero gravity causes a fluid shift in the body toward the head. So they all got big heads. Shit, that was the fucking situation before they got in the rocket. The opposite of what experienced standing on Earth, because people on Earth have little heads. That's a load of malarkey. On Earth, humans spend about 2/3 of the day in an upright position. Depends what kind of job you have. Wink, wink. And about 1/3 laying down at night. Again, what is your job role? This causes a daily fluid shift that varies based on our position. Hashtag nobody cares. There was an interesting part here. They talked about, but for astronauts, the fluid shift is sustained for long periods of time. It causes puffiness in the face, bird leg syndrome, where the legs lose volume and decrease plasma volume while increasing stroke volume, the volume of blood pumped per beat. Bird leg syndrome. There's a lot of people on the fucking planet who file strictly in the category of, 2/3, 1/3, laying down, standing up, vice versa, who have fucking bird legs just because of genetics. You know those guys. Come on. A lot of you guys growing up, you see these guys come out of the gym with a big torso and the skinny ass fucking legs. Bird legs. Yeah, you don't need to be in space to experience that, but I can see how this definitely would be an issue. This article should be sent to Elon Musk. He's got to see what's going to happen to these people on their way to Mars. I mean, these guys were on there just for 6 months. This is not a year-long trip on the ISS. It was only 6 months. When those folks get to Mars, they're going to be weak as fuck. How are they going to build a settlement on Mars? Where would they get the strength from? How many of them are going to die just from the trip itself? It's risky business, Mr. Musk. Oh, Muskie. Risky business indeed. Hopefully, the folks that he picks, the ones that can pay out the cash to be part of this group, hopefully they can keep their health up. Hopefully the Starship has an environment that's conducive to them staying healthy and being their own juggernauts on Mars. Otherwise, the trip is 4.2 far fucked. This is Manny Moonraker. That's the episode for today. It is a Friday night, late night chat-a-thon. I hope you guys continue to tune in. I appreciate every single one of you for listening. I appreciate the banter back and forth. This is not your mama and your dada's space alien news. It's a little different because I'm tired of the norm. So I'd rather be abnormal as hell and entertain you guys in knowing that someone out there is going to ask the questions that need to be really asked about from a blue-collar, normal human being. Ciao, Guter. It's time to play the last song. Until tomorrow, I will be here, guaranteed.